Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Special thanks to all of my patrons. My name's Neil and today we are starting The Haunting of Bly Manor. I'm excited guys, despite the fact that this is another Mike Flanagan horror, and horror is not my genre of choice. I have fallen in love with Mike Flanagan's storytelling. I loved The Haunting of Hill House. It was an incredible ride, one that certainly kept me on edge, but beautifully told story, and I'm excited for more. What do I know about Bly Manor? Not a ton, other than it's another Mike Flanagan project, so I'm expecting a similarly high standard. I've been told that some of the cast from Hill House are in Bly Manor, but they aren't playing the same characters. They're new characters. So that'll be interesting to adjust to. And I've also been told it's a different style of horror. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I'm curious to find out. And because, guys, this is the first episode of a new series, that means you can check out my full-length reaction to this episode for free on my Patreon right now. Feel free to head over to patreon.com/NeilTalks, and you can, if you've got your own copy of the show, check out my full-length reaction, watch along with me. You can also get early access. We're going to be a number of episodes ahead by the time this airs, so you can get early access to a bunch of my reactions if you decide to become a patron. It's the best way to support the channel, and it would be greatly appreciated if you did. If that's not in your means, I totally get it. Thank you for being here today. Your view does make a difference. Don't forget to like and subscribe for that extra icing on top. I have heard enough good stuff about Flanagan's entire oeuvre that I'm basically treating The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, and Midnight Mass as a single series, guys, just so you know. Just so I'm treating it like a Fargo or a True Detective, where each season it's a new story, a new cast, but it's the same creative team behind it, and it's a very similar genre. So once we're done with Bly Manor, we'll do Midnight Mass, and at that point then we can figure out where to go from there. But I'm really excited to jump into this one. I will be breaking out the blanket. I am anticipating moments of sheer fright, but I'm ready. I think I'm ready. I've got the chills, but I think I'm ready. So let's jump into it, guys. This is episode 1 of The Haunting of Bly Manor, and it's called The Great Good Place. Definitely some familiar faces so far. Oh, creepy kids. Oh, always terrifying. A lot of familiar faces. Henry James story. Interesting. I learned about a Henry James ghost story while doing my Lost reactions. I wonder if this is a reimagining of that.
But now, oh Willow Whaley, till my lover return to me.
You young people have absolutely no idea what you are letting yourselves in for. To truly love another person is to accept that the work of loving them is worth the pain of losing them.
Ghost stories are worse when there's a kid.
Adds a little something, doesn't it?
I have a story.
Okay. So is she just going to be our narrator?
The teacher was, by choice, a solitary young woman, come up to London in trepidation to answer in person an advertisement.
Nell's back.
Regarding his
Very
young
80s
nephew
hair.
and niece,
Digging that.
who were in need of an au pair.
Whoa. What did we see in the reflection there? There was a face in the reflection. That wasn't hers. There was something over her shoulder. Maybe it was just that window display, but...
Well, I've fallen quite in love with London.
Oh dear.
Haven't quite mastered tea yet.
The children would be your responsibility and yours alone. Don't call on me. Unless it's an emergency. I'm extraordinarily busy.
I understand.
And extraordinarily British.
What's the catch? What makes a woman of your age want to give up her life to take care of someone else's children? Seems odd, to be frank.
Seems odd to me, too. The listing, I mean. I saw your ad 6 months ago. And I've seen it every month since.
So what's the catch?
I'm honestly so curious.
About what?
What's the catch?
The catch.
No one wants the job.
Oh, come on. No one.
Does everyone know about Bly Manor?
For a while, last summer. A promising young woman. The children liked her. She died on the grounds, and people are superstitious. So now it's a story. Never mind the parents died abroad, never mind the governess took her own. So yes, the story precedes the job. What about you? What was your catch?
Hey, have you ever taught a classroom of 25 kids? You take to them. You love them. But there's just too many of them. And too little of you. Full time, live in. And then it clicked. They've lost someone. I know what loss is.
I'm gonna be in England a while longer. Yeah, quite a while, actually. I got a job.
I'm not running from anything. And it hurts me when you say that.
What else happened to her?
Anyway.
Yeah, she doesn't like mirrors.
You can reach me when I get to the house.
And we saw something in the reflection of that car that whipped past her. Yes. There it is again. It's like that character from Sin City. Just the round lending glasses on a silhouette of black. This is filmed in Vancouver. The lamplighter is my bar.
Nice to meet you.
Like I said, plenty to love.
Can I get out and walk the rest of the way?
You're Miss Clayton. You must be. Oh, and you're so pretty. You're perfectly splendid.
You must be Flora.
Well, isn't she proper?
What a gorgeous lake.
Oh, you mustn't. It really is just a smelly old pond. Who needs that old pond anyway? There's so much else that's so much better.
She leaves it behind.
It's perfect. Pleased to meet you, my lady.
Oh, well, what a gentleman. And this must be Mrs. Gross.
Was the journey okay?
Oh, it was perfect.
Oh, you're wonderful.
All the things going unsaid.
Eager to see the house.
Interesting.
Oh, yes.
Right, well, come along.
People being careful about what they say.
You can call me Danny.
This is a foyer, and it's perfectly splendid.
It's
She does like saying perfectly splendid, doesn't she?
They're painted by hand, and they're perfectly splendid. Brutal on the knees. And this is where our parents used to live.
You don't go in there anymore.
We don't go in there anymore. It's all covered up.
They're
Covered up. But underneath it all,
repeating everything they say.
perfectly splendid.
Just every phrase is like a cliche almost. Miles.
Oh! I'm sorry. May I come in? I just wanted to say how happy we all are that you're here. And to give you this.
Thank you.
Weird kids. They don't feel like 1987 kids at all.
Yeah, I hope it's all right. I haven't quite figured out tea yet, so.
It's fine, dear.
It's not.
Oh, wait, you're not gonna eat?
Yeah. I'll have it later.
Okay.
I'll give you some pointers.
Yes, you're
Oh.
very silly girl.
Where did you get that?
Miles gave it to me.
You shouldn't have done that. It doesn't belong to you.
Was it their mothers or something?
Who does it belong to?
Miss Jessel, the other one. Before you.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Now what is she looking at?
I was wrong. It's actually fine.
Something's talking to the kids. Oh my god. What is this thing that follows her around?
You know, Flora is a little upset, I think.
She's always a little upset.
This dollhouse in the background's already freaking me out. Oh, too many creepy old dolls already. Look at the size of this thing.
Who are all these?
Oh, there's some
They're dolls, of course.
creepy dolls in there, though.
And we're going to learn how to pick them all up before we go to sleep, okay?
Oh, that's some crazy foreboding and foreshadowing.
Put her back. She stays there.
Okay. Oh, she's a creepy little kid. Butterflies are a recurring theme here, too.
You have to promise me that you'll stay in your room. Stay in your bed until morning.
Okay. At least for tonight.
She definitely doesn't like her mirrors.
An emptiness that called out to be explored.
Well, not doing what the little girl says is never a good idea. The creepy little girl always knows best. Oh, these little creaks and croaks. Ugh. What are we looking through? What's behind us? What is this shot through? The other shot's through the dripping tap. What is this? It's someone.
You've got to stay in your room. Come and see.
Why?
So she doesn't see you.
Who?
The lady in the lake.
Flora.
The lady in the lake. What does he have?
Look!
It's just a spider.
I'm a lot braver than people think.
As sun, clouds, and rain would appear without hint or warning, so too did the children's moods, as though time and nature held secret laws just for them.
Who was that? Was that Luke? And he's gone.
The gardener did not even introduce herself to the new au pair. The others in the room just assumed they'd already met, which, if she were honest, was how the au pair felt when she first saw the young woman.
We're not gremlins. We're very good children.
It's hard to say. We're going to have to get water on them to be sure.
Like this.
What year did Gremlins come out? This is supposed to be 87? It probably only came out like a year or two earlier.
I saw a guy on the parapet on my way in.
Oh.
I waved. He didn't wave back.
So she didn't know who it was. Okay.
Well, you're not going to eat anything?
Oh, no, I already ate. Just here for the company.
Okay, so the housekeeper never eats. Everybody knows something. What is going on? Are we in the old wing? Yeah, that's where he was. And then he wasn't. Oh, another one of those dolls. Just a silly little thing, says Flora. What's in the little cottage? They have their own little chapel. Wow.
Oh, Flora.
I've seen a few of these.
Well, you can't judge them. Not after what they've been through. Poor Rebecca. So broken. So empty. And she was gone long before she waded into that lake.
Oh, she drowned herself.
Flora found her. This tiny game of Flora's to keep us all safe. Us. God, my God, these children.
What are the candles for?
The dead.
4 candles. The parents, Miss Jessel, and who else? Who's the 4th dead person?
Time for bed.
Is it? I shouldn't think so.
Miles.
Do you like games, Danny?
Stop being weird, Miles.
I love your imagination. And everyone in this house is so lucky that you're using yours to keep us safe.
You really are, you know.
I'm what?
Perfectly splendid.
She does love that phrase. Oh.
Oh. I'm sorry. Where would you like her tonight?
There's an electric fan in Flora's cupboard. Would you fetch it for me? I'm awfully sorry.
Okay, let's look.
Is he gonna
I don't
lock
see
her
it.
in there?
Must be under some clothes.
What is going on? Yeah.
Open it! Miles! Miles!
What does she see or feel?
Flora?
What's behind her?
Open the door! Open the door! Open the door! No!
Oh, freaking mirrors. Man, she's petrified of mirrors. Where are the kids? Have they just... Where'd the kids go?
So sorry.
So dreadfully sorry.
We'll talk about it in the morning.
Back under the dresser. Oh, and now we got this thing in the shadows at the end of the hall again. That is definitely alive, maybe. How long was she in there? 30 footprints coming from where? What's going on? Doors just wide open? What on earth? What happened? I wish I knew how long she was in there. It was definitely a bit of a time cut for her to like calm down and almost like fall asleep. These kids. Okay. All right, guys. What an interesting and really well done premiere. When you live in a film production center like Vancouver, Vancouver is the usually, depending on the year, the third largest production center in North America after LA and New York. More stuff is filmed here than in a lot of other places. Toronto, Atlanta, we're on par with them, but usually a little bit more. And I was pretty sure before we went into this that Bly Manor was made in Vancouver. It's always weird watching a show that's filmed in Vancouver because you inevitably recognize the odd landmark. Like my pub where I watch football every weekend, the Lamplighter. It was there in the background, standing in for London. So moments like that actually kind of pull you out of a show sometimes. It's a cool novelty, but you stop being in the show for a second and you go, oh, I know that place, and now you realize it's not London, it's around the corner a few blocks from where you live. And yeah, it's an interesting experience, but you get used to it as a Vancouverite. I get what people said when they told me this is a different kind of horror story. This feels much more of a, I don't know what the proper terminology is as far as literature, but it feels more literary, more romantic, older. It's obviously based on a Henry James story or two. The Lady in the Lake, was that a Henry James? I don't know enough about him. I'm going to have to do a little bit of Wikipediaing. But I do remember during the course of my Lost reactions, at one point there was a book, and I can't remember whether it was something that Sawyer was reading or it was something that was in the Swan Hatch. But in any case, there was a play, and I was I was checking up every book that we saw in Lost, because it all inevitably has something to do with the story at large. And I remember the basic idea of a governess and two children in this English manor. But I don't know, I've never read the story, I don't really know what it's all about, other than the reader doesn't know what's going on either. These two kids, they're creepy. But you know, already we're kind of establishing some motifs here, you know. Butterflies are popping up a lot, whether it's the hair clip or there's framed ones in Flora's room. Obviously, dolls are all over the place. It's got this Victorian vibe. Not any real, like, startle moments, although our heroine has this thing about mirrors and seeing this figure behind her in reflections with the two glowing round eyes. So there's obviously more to her story than what we know so far. What that boils down to, we're not sure. We got her side of a phone conversation where somebody was telling her that she was still running, but that will probably be revealed to us in future episodes. I'm assuming it will. But what's also going on here at the manor? What happened to the parents? What happened to the last governess, who was the figure on the parapet? What's up with these little talisman dolls? What's up with the one doll that has to stay under the dresser? Why did the kids lock her in the closet? Obviously, it's early days. A ton more questions than answers, but I am fascinated to find out more, and there are more deaths on this manor that we have yet to hear about. The housekeeper, the candles in the chapel, what are they for? They're for the dead. Well, there's 4 candles, so that tells me there's 4 dead. And we know about 3 deaths. We know about the parents, and we know about the last governess, but there's at least 1 more if you count the candles. Very mysterious setting, and I'm looking forward to finding out more. But I'm grateful that it's not quite as bone-chilling as Hill House. So yeah, I'm very curious to see where it goes from here. Cool to see a little cameo from Carla Gugino, who played Liv in Hill House. She's our narrator. It's an interesting choice, in my mind, that the story is set in 1987. It's an odd time to set a Victorian horror story. What does 1987 buy you that present day doesn't? That's an interesting question. So why that choice? What's the reasoning for that? Because you could either set this back, make it feel like an Agatha Christie period piece, you know, set it back in the 20s or something, or you could set it in 2020, but why 1987? It's an interesting choice. It's fun for the wardrobe department and the hair department, but I feel like there's a story reason there, and we're not privy to that yet. So I'm curious to see what that's about. And I'm excited to see another episode, and I'm going to watch another episode right now. You guys will have to wait a week to see that reaction, unless you happen to be on my Patreon and have early access, in which case the first 3 or 4 episodes should already be up. So until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.